Howdy folks, and welcome back to my series on the Jedi Knight storyline in Star Wars The Old Republic. We're going to jump right into it today, and the first thing we're going to do is head over to Vault of the Gormak King, which is down here in the southern part of the map. This one is going to take a little bit of time to drive through, and this area is loaded with enemies to face. So, let me go ahead and show you one little trick though. If you take the speeder point from where I'm standing, you will have to go through the central area to go to the final speeder point over here. If you want to save yourself some traveling time, go ahead and use quick travel, go to the Republic District in Voss-Ka, and then from there take the speeder point, and that'll just cut down on some of your travel time and travel expenses. Right now we're at level 45 on Voss, which is about the right level to be here, and because of that, speeder costs start going up into the thousands for how much it costs to travel from spot to spot across the planet.
Are currently open for business.
So as you move into, like, Voss, Corellia, Elam, Makeb, Rishi, and you start getting it later and later into the planets, that takes a bite out of your wallet, man. And it doesn't take you too long to make that kind of money back, but 1,000 credits saved is 1,000 credits earned. You know what I'm saying? I'm old school that way. Anyway, if you were also here for the last video, you heard me explain a little bit about Talaray and the idea of foreshadowing. So if you're not familiar with that term as far as storytelling, it's the idea of we're going to get this idea out here now to tell what a possible outcome is going to be later. They tie these two things together. So part of what happened in the story of Talaray is foreshadowing eventually what will happen to her. Yes, that is kind of a major spoiler, but I'm not going to give you all the ins and outs. You're just going to have to wait and see. Anyway, down here in the Gormak area, this is kind of a drive. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pause. I'm going to get through the majority of this, and then I'm going to come back in right about here on my map. All right, guys, we'll see you in just a minute. All right, folks, we're coming back in, and so my target objective is up here by, kind of in between these two tower-looking things. I've got good news and bad news. The good news is it's not too hard to get up there. The bad news is there's a lot of bad guys waiting for us, and unfortunately I can't take as many shortcuts as I'd like. So I am going to have to actually fight my way through at least a few of them. I also will say this too. This area, each one of these has a ramp up, okay, that you kind of come on up. If you come around from the wrong side, you're going to take, about 3 times as long and have to drive all the way around. So just kind of a heads up on that. All right, let's see if I can start this fight up. Get this rolling. Alright, so what I'm clicking on is this very weird shielded looking thingamajigger there, and that is technically a shield generator. Alright, my next stop is going to meet this one just over here, and you can see it's the same kind of setup. The easiest approach is actually to come in from the left side and then kind of come on in. And I'm going to see if the same trick will work twice. Ah, no, the invisible wall. Alright, a little bit of invisible wall there. Let's see if I can hug this side. There we go. Nice. Line of sight is a beautiful thing. Alright, let's hit the third one. Third one is right over here. You can see it on my map. To get there, I'm going to kind of weasel my way through a few of these groups, and then I'm going to cut sharp over there to the left. And again, just as a note, I've been skipping a lot of fights just because so far I haven't really needed to do them. Oops, man, I took too long trying to get around that little edge. There's like a little bit of a invisible lip. That spot there, not quite shipping around. But yeah, so one of the things I've been trying to do and be really intentional about is just sticking to the main storyline. And one of the reasons to do this during double experience is that way I don't have to do any extra work between videos to be level appropriate for a planet. I don't have to do any of the planetary quests. I can really just stick to the Jedi Knight story, which was kind of the goal anyway. It's definitely something easier to do during double experience. Also, I've got so many experience boosts going right now that I don't really feel the pressure to have to kill everything in sight to make that level up happen. All right, let's do this quick call.
I've destroyed all the generators. The shields around the King's Vault are down.
We suffered many casualties. We will occupy the Gormak as long as possible.
Get your squad out of there before you lose any more people.
No. We leave, you'll fight Gormak reinforcements.
Don't throw your lives away.
We will begin a fighting retreat. Get the maps. Rendezvous at the Voss camp on the border of the Nightmare Lands.
You know, for somebody who joined up after her husband died, I gotta admit, man, this chick is tough as nails. She's just like, all right, done. Her voice actress just says it like matter-of-factly. Most of the Voss, they don't seem to have super passionate moments. They're all really almost neutral speakers, but they actually do have a lot going on inside. If you ever play some of the other classes and you meet them, there's just this really wide variety of ways that they react to particular situations. You just don't see it all here, but some of them deal with things in an almost utter stoicism. Some of them actually can be a little bit passionate. Some of them can even be some akin to con men, you know, if you meet the right ones. So just really interesting stuff. Come on, focus defense. Count the seconds till that cooldown's done. There we go. Focus defense. Perfect timing. Where is Kira going? Where the heck did she even run to? Oh my gosh, Kira is all the way over here fighting something. Alright, we'll chalk that one up to a glitch. Oh my goodness, she ran past all of these different guys. Craziness. Alright, I'm going to pause for a quick sec. I do have some upgrades in my inventory. I'm going to grab those really quick, and then I'll start the video back up again. And we're back. Alright, we're going to cut over here. Let's see which way we're going. Assault the Gormak Vault. I'm getting a note here. Oh, that's why. Okay. Guys, there's an area trigger right at the start of this vault, and it looks like, for whatever reason, me walking in did not trip it, so I'm going to take a second and grab it. Or, nope, I'm just reading the map wrong. I'm an idiot. I have to come around. I'm sorry, guys. 2 days of running non-stop missions, and fatigue is rearing its ugly head. I'm going to follow this guy in. Let him do some of the fighting for me. There we go. Let's take out this guy. The path of least resistance. Boy, guys, I'm going to tell you straight up, if you guys ever decide to do your own version of this series, and you're inspired to make your own YouTube videos about your trek as a Star Wars character, I will say, guys, take breaks. Man, I tell you, the more of these you do back to back, the goofier you start to talk. I think on my first videos, I felt like I was, putting out Catcher in the Rye. And by this point, I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. I've done so many of these things back to back. Who is trying to fight me? What? There is some dude behind this box, or inside of it, that I can't even fight. That is just funky. Alright, what I'm going to try to do is try to just escape that. I'm going to put my companion on passive. And I'm going to try to create enough distance to where he pulls out of that box. There he goes. So guys, if that ever happens to you, that's a great time to use line of sight. Sometimes if they're stuck, oh, hang on, gotta put Kira back into the game here. So that guy, for whatever reason, was glitched inside of that thing. You can use line of sight by either pulling out so he moves and changes his range, or just getting behind an object. that will force them to have to move, close the distance, and hopefully unglitch. No MMO is perfect. You just saw one of the flaws right there. Boy, that can't be good. Say hello to my little friend.
Oh, I wish say, Habram, la no wike one big country.
You're not like the Gormak. You're a twisted being of pure evil.
Nei so funde ko nakaneva eak nan ni matan. La tutsi no futkom. Nigo wabon yaroy. Kontasavo fatban.
Yeah, that ain't gonna be good.
You are a foul abomination and must be destroyed.
Huavaska, bam kik na bungham trong wan blau. The chow troksha. La tutsi no futkom. Nigo wabon yaroy. Kontasavo fatban kap.
Alright guys, let's do it. This guy's bark is a heck of a lot worse than his bite. Alright, so one of the key things he did say here though is that he is a servant of Selmakor. And there's several different storylines that will take you into the Nightmare Lands, and you will deal with some aspect or version or something touched by Selmakor. Hard to describe. Selmakor, in a weird way, is kind of an evil force and malignant entity that is inherent to Voss, and unlike a lot of what you meet in these different planets, as far as like world-destroying entities, Selmakor feels very much like if the dark side had a voice and a personality to it. And it's one of these things that it's if you've ever seen like the Wheel of Time series, there's a place there called Shadow Logoth, and you have this very evil, corrupting presence that all the bad characters kind of worship, look to, and draw power from. And then there's this other evil place that comes rooted from mankind's evil, and each one's evil, two different types, and actually don't like each other very much. Selmakor is really a very similar type of malignant evil. It's not quite the dark side of the Force, and yet the dark side of the Force is kind of intrigued by it, and yet is also a natural enemy of it as well. Selmakor is just kind of a really interesting bag of tricks. We'll see a little bit more of that in the next video, but I did want to kind of throw that out there at you, where it's one of the most unique concepts of this game, and we don't see as much of it as I'd like. Alright, so we're going to rendezvous with Tala Ray, and she is all the way at the next base camp. Okay, so this is actually the Nightmare Lands base camp. You can't really tell from here because it looks like it's right next to the speeder point, but there's actually kind of a mountainish range there. So what am I going to do is I'm going to warp back to Camp Talanis, and then from there I'm going to take a speeder point over to this area. When I get there, I will go ahead and unpause the video, and we'll do the cutscene. Alright, we'll see you in just a second, guys. Alrighty folks, we're in the new area near the Nightmare Lands. Ba-bing! And to start this one up, you're just going to walk through this green tent right over here.
I have the maps. These should help us find the Dark Heart so we can stop Lord Fulminus.
You ordered my squad to retreat, braved the Gormak reinforcements. We owe you our lives.
I wasn't alone. You risked your lives to help me. I appreciate that.
Gracious, and a great warrior, you killed many Gormak, like my husband. You remind me of him. Strong, fierce, an instrument of mystic will. Behold, the patron of glory. Eyes afire with righteous might. Skin bathed in the warm blood of the enemy. Witness the glory and blazing fury.
From the way you normally talk, I would have never guessed your species could be so expressive.
We know great depth of emotion. We reveal true feelings through poetry. This verse honors my husband. Many songs were written celebrating his death.
Can you recite another verse?
His wrath rains down like fire from above. Bodies encircle him like a pyre. His hand never falters. His courage never wanes. As the hordes overwhelm him, his last thoughts turn to his true love. He feels no fear, no pain. The chill of death cannot cool his passion. The hero burns eternal. Sounds better in Voss. Basic lacks nuance.
I think it was still pretty awesome.
Thank you for sharing that with me.
You are welcome. We must go. Valendah waits for us. The maps reveal the location described in Valendah's vision. We confront Lord Fulminus there. The Dark Heart crawls with predators. We split up. Small groups draw less attention.
A creature at the Gormak vault spoke to me. It said it was created in the Dark Heart by a being called Sel Makor.
I do not know the name. Valendah made no mention of this entity. Sel Makor is not our concern. I will mark the chamber on your map. Meet there. Valendah has foreseen it.
Alright guys, that wraps this segment up. And next up, we're going to finish up Voss with Visions of Light and Darkness. It's actually a very, very short chapter. That's one of the things I love about this planet. So it's very quick. We're also right on track to be ending with the Jedi Knight story series right at level 50, which is going to be pretty awesome. So if you like this, please go ahead and like this video. If you enjoy the videos that I put out, please click subscribe, and that way you get notified about when the new stuff comes out. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please put them in the area below. That's about all I got for you guys, so we will see you next time.